Lakers coach Frank Vogel revealed Anthony Davis will miss 4 weeks. AD was reevaluated last night by team doctors, and they confirmed his calf strain. So, Antoine, should the Lakers be worried about the regular season at all, or just focus on getting AD healthy for the playoffs?
They got to worry about the whole situation, Joy. This is not just about 4 weeks. Obviously this injury is much more serious than the Lakers are letting on. When you talk about missing 4 weeks, it could be 4 to 6 weeks. You don't know how many games that's going to be. The NBA has yet to make the second half of the season. So obviously, and then AD's injury prone throughout his career. So you want to make sure, one, he comes back 100% healthy, and then he has to get into some basketball shape to even be able to be competitive. So the Lakers are in a world of trouble right now. If I'm the Lakers right now, I'm thinking about adding a piece. It's not really a lot of great guys out there. I mean, you got Drummond, but the guy that kind of sticks out to me, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but to me that can make a big impact will probably be Blake Griffin. If he takes a buyout, you'd be able to pull Blake Griffin in there, a guy who's not really had an opportunity to play for championships, put him on the big stage. He likes L.A. He can give you something in the off-the-bench role. He's a pick-and-pop guy. He can shoot the three. Obviously, we know he's a big body. The Lakers are playing a little small ball. LeBron, you're gonna wear LeBron out in this situation if you don't make some type of moves. They didn't adjust the big spot. They're very small in the front court with just Marc Gasol, who's older now. So this is a big situation for the Lakers. I know they're downplaying it right now, but AD in this injury, you got to take serious. Anything you talk about your calf and your Achilles, it's going to be tough. And then how much cardio can he really do to stay in shape? So this is a big problem for the Lakers.
Yeah, it's all about AD for the postseason because home court advantage doesn't really matter that much for the Lakers. Number one, we don't know what fans are going to be like anyway in the playoffs. Are they going to be packed stadiums, 10,000, 5,000, 500? We don't know. Number two, if they meet, say, the Clippers in the conference finals, which a lot of us expect, that's their home arena. And if there are fans there, even at Clippers home games, the Lakers will have more fans. And then third, they're the best road team in the league. They're better on the road than they are at home. Here's the thing with AD. He's got to take these 4 to 5 weeks, whatever it is, and get himself right, not just physically, but mentally. I expected AD to come out and have an MVP caliber season. Instead, he has regressed. Points are down, rebounds are down, free throw attempts are down, blocks are down. Free throw percentage has gone from a career 80% to 71%. Why is that? He should be blossoming as a player, taking the torch from LeBron, and instead he's gone backwards. So get yourself right mentally, AD, not just physically, Joy.
AD is not built like LeBron James. I did not expect an MVP-level season from him, but you're right, he has regressed. They are not built for the regular season. LeBron James is not worried about regular season championships and regular season awards. So, yes, this is something that the Lakers need to monitor, get him healthy for the postseason. They're not worried about what he's going to do in the next couple weeks. He needs to get right. We know he is fragile, so he does, to your point, Chris, get his body right, get your mind right, get ready for the postseason run. Because it's going to be a long one. That's what LeBron James planned. I do like Antoine's suggestion of them making a move, though, because look, AD, this is what he does. He gets injured. So you need to have a backup plan, and I think that would be a really aggressive move that would help them.
Yeah, it's about the future for the Lakers, and that future being the postseason. That's what it's always going to be about when you're talking about LeBron James and chasing titles with this organization. But we got to remember, after the finals in the bubble, they only had 71 days, and AD was playing hurt even when he was down in the bubble. So we didn't see a completely healthy AD. We saw him do something that he hasn't been able to do throughout his entire career, which is play through those injuries at an elite level. He did that last year in the bubble. They need him later in the season to go make that same playoff push and hopefully, potentially for them, win their second back-to-back.
Celtics GM Danny Ainge had a pretty blunt assessment of his 500 team yesterday, saying if there's somebody to blame, it's Danny Ainge to blame. So, Antoine, is Danny Ainge right that he's to blame for the Celtics' struggles?
I don't think he's 100% to blame. I think he's a part of it. I give him 50% of it because he dropped the ball this summer with Gordon Hayward. You can't let a guy like Gordon Hayward walk out the door and don't get anything back in return. They need to add some depth to this roster. He did not do that. The signing of Jack T seems like it was a bust. Tristan Thompson has been very serviceable, but they did not add the pieces that was needed to go alongside this great starting lineup. You got a great lineup at Kemba, obviously Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And the depth is not there. The Celtics are not a very deep team. They can't go 8-9 deep. They have a very good starting lineup. And that's what Brad Stevenson plays a part. Can he make some adjustments with this lineup and not necessarily change the starting lineup, but maybe shorten minutes and get guys in that second unit where you get more balance on the offensive end? They're just not the same team. I don't know if Kemba Walker is not letting on how his knee is really feeling. We know he's fought through injuries over the last year, but he does not look like the same Kemba Walker that we've seen in the past. So bringing in a guy like Jeff Teague, who's not giving you a lot of production, who's having a really bad year. So you got to take the blame for both of them. It's on Danny and Brad. But I like the fact that Danny stepped up. But all these draft picks and drafting all these guys has hurt them now, where they could have packaged those draft picks and actually got some really good veterans to add to this young core that they got in place. And also just to toss in there, Marcus Smart has been out too as well. We can't forget that. He is the heart and soul of that team.
Yeah, look, their lack of depth is Danny Ainge's fault. The fact that outside of Taco Fall, they don't have a player taller than 6'9" is Danny Ainge's fault. You mentioned Gordon Hayward as well. They got a second-round pick for him. That's Danny Ainge's fault. But it's not his fault that Marcus Smart is injured. It's not his fault that Kemba Walker, really hasn't been able to come back 100% yet from the knee injury. We'll see if that happens. So I'm going to put more of this on Brad Stevens. All right, you still have two legitimate all-stars, and I'll be shocked and I'll be upset if both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum aren't on the Eastern Conference All-Star team. So you still have enough where you should be above 500 in the Eastern Conference. Brad Stevens has been treated with kid gloves throughout his career. From the get-go, from Jump Street, he got this long-term 6-year contract straight out of Butler that rubbed a lot of people around the league the wrong way. Look, he's a very good coach. He's done a good job there. But now it's time for you to take this team to the next level. And Brad has not done that yet. And this year, it's been the worst that he's done since he's been there. So a lot of this is on Brad.
Yes, Chris, yes, it absolutely is on Brad. Every year I hear about Brad Stevens, the wonder kid and the system, and they're contenders. We need to take the Celtics seriously. And every single year I'm like, why aren't they in the NBA Finals? I thought, what happened? Where are they? 16 different lineups in 28 games. This is somewhat on Danny Ainge because of the depth. Some of it is injury. It's not excuses. Some things are reasons. But to me, you have two stars. You're right. You should be better than 500 in the East. I don't take the Celtics seriously at this point anymore because every year I hear the same thing. To me, this is on Brad Stevens. After a while, you just have to make it happen. Everyone deals with injuries. Everyone deals with COVID issues these days. You got to make it happen. Figure it out.
I understand that everyone deals with injuries and COVID issues, but Twan, you mentioned all the personnel decisions that Danny Ainge did not make and that he did make that hurt this team. And ultimately, that's why this team is where they are. They're just not good enough. And he said it, he knows it, and he's responsible for configuring and putting together a roster that Brad Stevens can put out on the floor and then produce wins. That has not happened. I don't care if Marcus Smart is on the floor. I don't care if Kemba Walker is 100% healthy. They still aren't good enough. Danny Ainge knows that. He's responsible for it.
All right, we're talking winners and losers.